what's going on?
I'm stuck. Technology been tripping all week.
I know, right?
There we go.
Oh, okay. That's Toya.
That's Mike.
And this is Tech Beats and Bytes. How y'all been? How y'all? If y'all can't tell, it is the holidays.
Ooh, child.
The Christmas tree in the back at Grow CEO Space.
Look at that.
Literally the only decoration we have in here right
now. You gotta start somewhere.
So what's up, superstar? How you doing?
You got jokes.
I'm just saying, you everywhere, you selling everywhere. Every time I see a panel with female entrepreneurs, you is there somehow.
Gotta make it do what it do. Gotta make it do what it do. What you been up to?
Prayer and therapy money. Just
you said therapy?
Yes, Lord.
Listen, it's a long, short year.
Yes, I am trying. I'm doing good though. I've been all right. But it's been some trying times. Trying time, and actually nothing bad with me personally. Just a lot of. Yeah, you know, you just stop eating. Shit just work. Shit just work out for you.
Stress, weight loss. That's what that is.
Nah, I just cut back on eating sweets at night. Try to like cravings. I either crave it out with a smoothie. I sweetness, comfort food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to rest, comfort food. So just trying to smoothies, but about to start. You know what everybody else talk about. Finally, the price of weight has went down because at one point trying to order weights were like 3 times the weight. So you order 100 pounds worth of weight, cost $300, and I was like, this is more than a gym costs. I can't do this right now. So, but that's it. Drinking more water and just not eating as much sweets at nighttime. Got like a thing of ice cream that's been sitting there for a month and a half, which is unheard of. It's like, so my favorite ice cream. Every time I look at it, it's like, feel like working out, or you just gonna drink some water and go to sleep?
Right.
So I just drink the water. So you HSN, you did Manifest Her. I know some people recruiting you to do beauty incubators. Are you ready for the distractions with everything you're doing? Like, are you almost at that well-oiled machine thing? Because you got a lot of people that start to pull you to kind of guide other people with your recent success. So how's that gonna go?
It's going, you know. Okay. You know how we do. We just make it do what it needs to do. Right. Honestly, but it is kind of all still focused, right? So one of the things, of course, with our background being in advertising and marketing and stuff like that, we're used to managing multiple projects at the same time. So I take a lot of that being a project manager for over 16 years and what that looks like and what that means. So much of that life allows me to do what I'm doing right now. So, but it is a lot. But I could say that, you know, we have some great people who are pouring into us. The venture mentoring team, we just got on with them. So they're like an advisory board, if you will, of some fantastic like ex-CEOs and SVPs of different companies who now are our mentors directly. So they're helping us with some stuff, new voices. We're part of that family now. So we're getting insight from them. And then the Amex 100 for 100 program, that starts in January. And looking forward to that. Because again, it's just access and getting, you know, the support and the level of resources that we need to really kind of level up. And it's been like I said, a long and short year all at the same time. It's a little crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's I say it because like most of the time everybody hit me up and it's like, so what about? I'm like, she already booked. Like, but what if? And then when I see something, it's like I get ready to forward it to you. And if I watch enough of the video or if I read enough featuring LaToya of Cosmology, I'm like, oh, okay, I ain't got to tell her. She already. Like, it's been 3 things people have hit me up like, oh, I could suggest you. They be like, oh, I already got her. You got somebody else? My bad, dog. No, I ain't got nobody else. My circle is small and tight. That's just who I rock with.
Right.
But it's been dope. It's been dope to see it. I'm glad people tapped into realizing you have the talent where you're creating things out of the understanding or because of your, you know, advertising background. you can see the holes in certain things. So I kind of always wanted people to see that, like, yeah, she has cosmology, but there's about 200 other things in her head that she just don't have the time to execute. So if the right person partners up with her, she can give you all that information and you can run with the company. And she could just be one of your founders or sit on your board or something like that. So I'm just easy way to say congratulations, and it's been dope watching your climb. Even better to see you doing it with your sisters. You know what I'm saying? That's just been a real fun thing to see. Q has come back, of course, as you know, because you were doing. Quadira went off and had a baby, and came back. She came back with a force. Came back with Manifest Her. Basically bringing back what she had started about 4 years ago when she started all her female programming back then, before she even came on with Digital Grass. And so we was able to tap into Q, and Q is coming on board to be pretty much one of the managing partners with the co-work space. Of course, because we can't get you to drive an hour and a half every day. And oddly enough, Q only lives like 15 minutes from the space. We didn't even know that.
Works. That's cool.
Yeah. So it really worked out. So the band is back together. The only person we're really missing is David. Alicia is going to be doing yoga here. So for the people out there that need their meditation and yoga, going to start the yoga sessions at the Grow CEO spaces. We have, of course, you're coming up with the second cohort of Junction Hall's Food and Success Incubator. But on top of that, we now have a commercial kitchen across the street that we're going to be able to get access to.
Look at that.
That's going to be exciting. So we're looking to turn that into not just a usage space for our incubator, but also an opportunity for people to operate out of it. And it'll just be, of course, for pickup and delivery only, because it's right here at the EPAT Larkin Center. And then all the growth stuff, of course, is apparent, but growth therapy is starting next year. We're going to open that up. So we're going to have, a lot of people went through a lot this year between COVID, between the aspects of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, seeing a lot that was happening in our community. It was just a lot to deal with. A lot of people are suffering PTSD, different forms of trauma. So we put together a pitch and received some funding to actually have founders and entrepreneurs in the Tri-County where they can get 6 sessions of therapy at no cost, and then 6 group therapy sessions that we'll be doing. And then we'll wrap it up with a dinner where we kind of talk about what we've overcome. If, try to figure out if people see the value in the therapy, do they plan on continuing it? If they continue it, would they just need to do it at a discounted rate, or do they see the value in the investment? And try to pull together some data so we can take this to Alicia Keys and her team to actually try to get funding to do this in 21 cities, specifically 21 cities in honor of Tulsa, which is coming up on their centennial anniversary from 1921, the Tulsa Massacre, racial wars, whatever you want to call them. But we want to do 21 different cities, focus on metropolitan areas where we work with Black founders and Black entrepreneurs to start working through these issues. There's too many people that keep talking about mental wellness as if we don't know that's a problem, but not really offering a solution. And without the medication, the only other thing is therapy. So to have a licensed therapist actually sit down and talk to you, and all the way to the point, 2 of our therapists actually have the authorization, if it came down to medication and things of that nature. Went into all the paperwork, so we're not worried about HIPAA violations, but we will be pulling out some key factors and some different KPIs to see the impact of what's happened over the last year and see if we can look for a change. There's too many people in this community that made pledges and made commitments that they wanted to help the Black communities and see a change. Well, this is a change. So all the organizations that might be watching this, we're looking for match funds because we would like to do this in different cities. But it costs, because you have to pay for the therapist, you have to pay for the organization, you have to pay for the project management, the marketing, and everything else. And then the reports that we're going to put together. I would love to turn this into a documentary, but I also don't really care because I need people to know this is a safe space so they're not going to be exposed. The main thing is taking care of people and not just making another quick buck by recording the information. So that's one of the biggest things we're going to be working on. Those are the 2 things I think I'm most excited about. Because you're still using the same skills, and there's a little bit of business coaching that happened with that. So, different people of our team, of course, I still want to do instead of Beauty and the Beast, I want to do Beauty and Groom, because there's a lot of men coming into the health and wellness market and the beauty market, and they don't know where to go. So it's so much happening. It's just a weird year, and it's kind of like for everybody, we're doing just a small recap. All of us need to take a break. Other people do this as a job. We do this as, I think, I would say, a community service. So a lot of people to know what's going on and what we're doing. But it was a weird year because there was a lot to flex about and to be excited about. But it was kind of hard to show that excitement when so many other people are going through different things. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's kind of one of the first topics I want to talk about. You had a lot of success this year. We had some of our largest clients. Probably 2 of our largest contracts will be executed and signed next year.
Congrats on that.
Yeah. How did
you name drop or not so much?
Well, actually, one of them is already in the bag. One of our biggest things that we're working on is the National Black Justice Coalition. And that's pretty much your largest coalition for the Black queer community. They're based out of DC, Washington, DC. So that's your LGBTQ SGL. And so becoming an ally, but redoing their website, their engagement process, working with them on the app for Safe Haven. They have a lot going on. This is an organization that's working with Sephora, Cartoon Network,
nice,
Sony. There's a lot of large corporations that are there supporting these matters. And of course, there's been a very large crime rate and increase of murders of transgender. And so there's just other issues. We see certain things, and when certain things blind us, like COVID, there's a lot going on. But as we told you, one of our biggest blessings has been able to take our skills and actually make real social impact, and not just do stuff. So that was, money wise, it was a great project. But for me, teaming back up with actually wouldn't be your pro fight, but she was in the area. Sharon Letman, Delta from FAMU. And that was my first boss. It was my first job as a graphic designer. So being able to team back up with her and work with her, that's one of the bigger projects. And then we're doing a project with FIU for the prosecutor area, for prosecution dashboard, and how they actually analyze the data of how people are getting prosecuted. So taking a lot of the stuff we do for community, but being able to do it with Medium 4. There's about these, I can't release the name, but there's probably 2 or 3 governors or senators that will be doing the branding and marketing and campaign for coming up in the upcoming year.
Listen, after this election season,
we did all right, but that was rough. Yeah. So to say that, if you wouldn't ask me that question and we weren't doing the show, it's not something I would be talking about. And it's like, you don't really talk about the stuff you're doing. You've just been doing it and doing the marketing. So it's been hard to celebrate when I know on the counter, like David had a scare, and he's now trying to reverse diabetes. Almost lost a best friend, having to talk to him in the hospital. My mom had surgery, now a cancer survivor. So it was so much going on. Like people are like, oh, couldn't go anywhere because if I get sick, I can't see my mom for I don't know how long, Right. You can't even be in that predicament. So it was a hard year to celebrate the successes with all the stress that was going on.
No, it was. And I've had this conversation with a few different people who, like us, have had some really great things happen this year. And I think that's what 2020 was a little bit about, right? We kind of talked about that earlier in the year, about just how this could be a good setup year if you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to kind of move through and move past the chaos that's kind of happening and taking the time out to really strategize and double down on what you need to focus on.
Right.
And it wasn't easy, right? Because we've had within our family some COVID scares and everything else. And you have to take time out for that. It is what it is. Some had a different flow. You weren't able to necessarily focus as much as you could have before. But I think that's where the opportunity was. The idea of receiving more and not pushing so much. A lot of we've been so much about like push, push, push. This year was like chill out, let stuff kind of come to you and take your time with it. And stuff still happen. Stuff is still happening. And we're still, and the good thing is that we're also creating opportunities with what you're doing with junction halls, with what we're doing with, growing and scaling and now being able to, do different things with different people. Like it's all creating opportunities. And in the midst of all this loss, it's good to see that there are opportunities that are out there and there are people doing things to keep people moving forward and to keep things afloat.
Right. And I mean, like Gail, she had a quick pivot and now she's a roaster instead of just selling. Like, still got very dope people around us, but it's weird because you can't drive and celebrate with them. You can't drive down and give them that hug, and now it's do a fist bump, do a handshake.
Right.
Natural, right. That natural human connection to be able to say, "Yo, I'm proud of you. You're doing your thing." Don't come off the same when it's a text. It always came off better when you would just pop up and show up and surprise the person. But a lot of people out there, I know a lot of people are doing good. And to all those people that are doing good, shout out to y'all. Congratulations. I'm proud of you. But to everybody that it didn't go the way you wanted it, surviving was the real win this year. I want a lot of people. I want y'all to hear that, and I want y'all to feel that survival. If you made it through, some of this was too hard for people to make it through. Some of this people just couldn't make it through because of natural causes. So if you've made it to today and you keep making it, because we still got a rough year coming up.
Yeah.
And I hate to sound bad, it's just being real. We got a rough year coming up. Like we're opening up a co-work space during a pandemic. It was just like this project is a year and a half behind. Period. It was a year and a half. So a lot of work that went into this. So it's like we're still trying to do everything we can for the community, but it's gonna be rough. But find that creativity, buckle down, find that thing you can do. Today for me, the therapy now is waking up and playing one side of a Sade album. When it's spent $200 to buy a better record player, buy a better turntable, because that's what I need. Music is that energy. Music is that life for me. So whatever you need to make it through, mine has been music and art and just creating different things.
Yeah, mine has been sitting outside. We bought a fire pit so we could just chill out, like just being outside. Like
that's what's up. Yeah, Alicia has been doing a lot of woodwork, and so got a custom sink so I can grill more. Now it's time to buy the pergola or the whole setup because we're gonna do construction later. But you don't want people in and out your house right now.
Right.
But like you said, just the tent to be able to cook and be outside, because the biggest thing is those walls start closing in no matter how big the space is.
Okay. He'd be like, can I see the sun?
And then those days where it was just the overcast and there was no sun, it's like, yo. And I found myself a lot of times, some friends were like, oh, you taking your old man nap? Sometimes I would have to just go to sleep to get parts of my brain to shut down and get the other part of me to re-energize so I can make it through. And then, as the money is coming in, you start having that blessing of what's been manifesting for the last 10 years. Because as we always say, anything that you see as an overnight success has been in process for 10 years.
Right.
To be able to start saying no to some people. And I know some people got their feelings hurt this year. And I'm just going to tell you that's on y'all. And the reason why that's on y'all, you should have known our value and you should have known our worth. I'm not a person that's going to sit up there and question it. I literally had somebody tell me, Toya, I just think you're charging too much. And I was like, I just think you're too cheap. But either way, I'm not changing the price. It was like somebody was trying to bully me into changing my price. And I'm like, and
I'm not the one for you.
Like,
that's all that means.
If anything, I save money because you're not spending money on gas. You're not eating out as much. You realize where your money goes and expenses go, so certain things, it was just like, all right, well, shit. If you upset, be upset, fam, but I'm not changing my price. And then spending money on certain tools and doing things certain ways to save time. So I can't say like, oh, I learned a lot about myself. It's people that know me, everybody that give y'all those fake little motivational talks, that's dope. I'm just not one of those people. I didn't learn a lot about myself. What I learned was my tolerance level and my patience level.
Yeah, listen.
And those things, like the new thing we added to QuickBooks was an automatic reminder, right?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even add it on purpose. Did an update to QuickBooks, doing the whole PPE loan thing and everything. So automatic reminders. And I think the reminders come 14 days after the invoice has been sent out. At least 3 people was like, yeah, I already got it. I know it's, I'm like, you'll hit me up 4 times when I tell you something's going to take 36 hours, but you mad because you 14 days late with getting me my money? Those are the kind of things I noticed during the pandemic. I noticed people's appreciation or lack thereof for services being rendered. And so for me, there's a couple of waitresses that are probably dying for me to come back, because some places I went just to get donuts or to eat, and I know my tips were anywhere from 30 to 50% of whatever I spent, because it's like, it's not the whole, they're sacrificing their life. People that were sacrificing their life were the people on the front line. But any essential workers that were there for something that would be more so deemed as a want for me versus a need, I wanted to show appreciation for those people.
Yeah.
And then the people that it was a need, it was like, just the extra breath. Somebody didn't pull off at the stoplight fast enough. Just take an extra 2 seconds before you honk the horn. Somebody that's, the lady at Publix or the gentleman at Publix, how was your day? Thank you. I hope everything's okay with you. Just a conversation and let them know I appreciated them. I think that was pretty much the biggest thing. And also not knowing what was going to happen with my mom. That was scary. Nobody want to lose their mama. And my mom is, luckily she was healthy and so strong and so resilient. They're like, oh my gosh, her recovery is a miracle. We won't hear that shit. That was our mama. We didn't care. What we wanted to hear, that she didn't have cancer. But she made it through. And I'm sorry, Mom. I know we weren't really supposed to talk about it, but she's healing now. So,
which is something to celebrate. Listen, because life is serious.
So there's some quick stuff that we will make it through, because it's still Tech Beats and Bytes. For Brian Burkeen and everybody that's so excited about all these companies from the Valley in New York moving down here, are they going to spend the money with the people down here? Or are they just going to make the money and live down here without paying state taxes?
Right. What's the intention?
Yeah, I get it.
Soon enough.
I get it, but if you remember, these big places they're coming from, the problems you have is the cost of living went up. They didn't want to pay people more, and they weren't giving back to the people in those cities. And you see what happened to the Valley in San Francisco. Those cities became very bland and very vanilla because they pushed all the culture out. So for me, before I get excited about something big and new coming, I still kind of want to know, how are you actually going to help the city you're coming to?
Right. It's all about that intention.
Yeah, because we got a lot of people in Miami that just come and take from us and don't give back. And when I say Miami, and when I say Miami people, we're talking about the investor Miami, which means just south of Port St. Lucie, all the way down to the Keys. That's now Miami.
Right.
Yes, you're right. As Joseph Patterson said, launch code. Yeah, soon as it got tough for Buddy, he was out. It wasn't no more money coming in for free. He shut down shop. And there's a lot of people that's like that. They literally, I would say, they come and soak up the sun, but we never get to see the vegetation that happens to the plant from taking in all that sun. It's like they take the sun and they go grow it somewhere else. Pun intended. But it's just, we need more people that's truly invested. So a lot of people are moving out here, frankly, because it's a financial benefit to them. Like in the housing market. So a lot of people out there, y'all getting these FHA loans and stuff. These people from Cali and New York are coming down paying for these houses in cash. So a lot of y'all thinking y'all gonna live east of 95, y'all gonna be out there in the Everglades, or y'all gonna be up there in Port St. Lucie. or you're gonna have to move to a condo.
Right. Yeah, no, it's gonna be different. I know we were watching, was it on Bytes? It was someplace, and they were talking about how you have this sort of like urban exodus, right? So it's kind of like you had an urban influx at one period, but now with COVID, people are moving, and they were talking about how I want to say it was like Rhode Island or some like place where like Vermont, that's what it was Vermont. Like no one, like they're seeing a huge spike in real estate and just people moving there because families are like, I can't be in these urban, tight, high population areas. I need space, air, and yard.
Land, right.
Right. And especially with COVID and, just being around people all the time, that's not what people want anymore. So, coming to South Florida is like, okay, we get a little sun, we have some playground area. Right. But how you going to show up and what you going to do for the community? How are you going to make it different?
Because, as for somebody that's already here, I'm like, all right, what's north of Orlando where I can buy me some land and build out everything where I can be inclusive? It's going back to where I grew up. Now it's like, okay, a half an acre or an acre was cool, but now I need like 20 acres, 10 of it still with forestation so I can go hunting and just get out and be about. The other 10 clear it out and start building some pods so everybody can live there. But I get the excitement, but I hope it works out. I hope they do right. In other words, I hope the Beacon Council and other organizations make pledges and commitments to our cities before we just start offering them tax incentives and reasons to come down here. We need to look out for us first. Just like Black people say, we all we got. When it comes to the city, we all we got. So y'all got to make sure y'all take care of us instead of just giving them all these tax breaks on their real estate and everything else when they move to South Florida.
Who've been here.
Right. Especially when you skip over people that built it up. Well, yeah, especially that part. Next thing that's been kind of cool and popping, Clubhouse. Are you on yet?
Yeah, I've been on since like October or something.
I got on
a little bit.
I got on in the summer. What's your opinion? I'll let you get on with that first. What's your opinion about Clubhouse?
It's interesting. I kind of like the different rooms and the access. Now I feel like it's almost how Facebook was, right? At first it was like, oh, cool. And then it just became like, whoa, what? And it sucks, right? Because like I said, I've been on it for a minute, but I haven't been active on it because it took me a second to get it. I was like, what is this? And I didn't have enough time to I'm not a huge social media person anyway. So I was like, wait, what? So that's the thing is that now you're just starting to see like tons of, and at first it felt like it was about entrepreneurship, investors, and like these people who you wanted to have access to in a digital space, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like the whole house, but on an app. So I was like, dope. Like,
yeah, that's actually it was the Soho House on the app. That's a great way to describe it.
Right. Yeah. And I was like, this is dope. Like, let me follow all these people that I want to connect with. Now it's almost like any and everybody. And I'm like, what? Not to say that it needs to be exclusive, but it lost to me, the intention of kind of connecting and bringing people to the table-ish.
I got sidetracked on this week. The two things I saw was them talking about the girl that rated herself a 5 and she needed a 6-figure man.
Right. It's like random conversations now. I'm like,
that was the main conversation. And then the other one was a group, the room. The room was, I might be a hoe. And there were 3,400 people listening in that room.
Right.
And it was literally a girl talking about basically her OnlyFans weekend escapades. And she was basically revealing information about who the secret getaway was about. And people started picking up on it. So they started calling him and tagging him. Then he got in the room. Then it went all the way crazy. The other one I missed was the one I think they got up to 5,000 or 10,000. It actually shut it down. Was the one with Kevin Hart? Like Kevin Hart isn't funny anymore.
Right. I was gonna say the whole Kevin Hart debacle. Like,
so now speaking of entertainment,
like social media.
Yeah, like this is my thing. If you are not a married man, Kevin Hart was not funny. I'm straight up. If you're not a married man, or if you are not a man in a relationship and you don't have kids, that special was not funny. if you are married and over 35, everything in that motherfucker you probably relate to. I was dying laughing because it was relatable. But I think that's also, you got to understand, the majesty of comedy is like, to me, Dave Chappelle is a storyteller that just has zingers. Yeah. Dave Chappelle needs his own category. To me, he's not even a comedian. He's beyond comedy.
He brings culturally relevant topics.
Yeah, like I think it was Star X or somebody. He's a humorist, and I don't even know if that's the right word for it, but that he's just beyond. But Kevin Hart, to me, is tapping into what Seinfeld and Larry David used to be very good at, which were relatable topics that aren't really race bound, but they're relatable to just life situations. So when you're watching it, you're laughing because it's more so like somebody else is going through something I went through and they made a joke out of it so I can laugh it off. That's where I think Kevin Hart is at in his life, because people got to understand he's done all the crazy shit that y'all used to love and joke about. He's not going to go through that part of his life anymore. And also, he's kind of in that Dave Chappelle level with money. He can do whatever he wants to do. The man did a Netflix special in the basement of his house. Dave Chappelle is doing specials in his neighbor's cornfield. Like, these dudes don't really care about how funny you think they are because they have an audience. And even if you think they're losing, they're gaining somewhere else. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because there's something I want. Too many of y'all are wasting too much time with y'all psychoanalysis of everything on social media. Like, y'all aren't that smart. And actually, y'all look dumb because it exposes a lot of insecurities of the things y'all talk about and how much y'all dog other people. You know, after Chadwick Boseman died, everybody felt all bad because the man was going through stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
Right. Everybody had jokes.
Yeah, everybody had jokes, and then y'all felt all bad and said, "Oh, we got to not do that." And then, like 3 weeks later, y'all was back on the same shit. And honestly, the way I feel about that is the same way I feel about Black Lives Matter and everybody that had all these attention to help Black people. Where y'all at now? It was hot, but y'all have straight disappeared. I don't even see them post no more. And a young man I think in Gainesville or just north of Orlando was just found hanging outside of a hotel.
But does that mean it was more about the public display? Was it more about the pro? Right, that's what I'm saying. So
it absolutely does. Y'all, I mean, y'all failed. Everybody that I called out and I was the bad guy, I was being too harsh, y'all have proven my point. Y'all failed because this shit is still happening and y'all rage is gone and there's nobody offering solutions anymore.
Right. Just because it's COVID and everybody is supposed to be sheltering in place because everybody's not doing that in the first place.
Right, because Atlanta been all the way open.
There's new super spreader events all the time. So but I think that's interesting, right? Because that goes back to like, what is people's true intent? Like, you just there for the cameras to show up, do a quick display of, oh, we angry, and then you move to the next one, or are you really about doing the work?
No. And
that's the thing. People who talk the most usually not about the work.
Do the least.
Too much.
Right. When you work and you ain't got that kind of time to talk. You know when it's hard as to talk? When you lifting weights and 400 pounds is on your chest and you got to get it up for 3 more reps. You ain't going to be talking that much.
Listen, I'll be trying to figure it out. I'm like, how are you on social media all the time? Like, I don't have the time. I don't have the time.
I literally had to start like scheduling social media when the work really picked up because, you know, we made an investment with Southbox. So we're in the film and entertainment. We're with Film Hedge. Great investment. John Gauzier is killing it over there. But I'm like, bruh, y'all are writing essays. Like, my man David is trying to get a PhD. Y'all putting more on Facebook than he putting into his dissertation. Hypothetically, not realistically, but it seems like the time dedicated to it. But I just want everybody to be clear. Let me make sure I'm centered right here. Let me be clear. Y'all failed when it came to fixing these social injustice issues. Y'all failed. And too many of y'all proved the point. Y'all got onto a bandwagon of making sure you didn't appear too racist and you needed to care and it was good for your brand, but y'all have failed at the execution of actually doing something about it. And now, to all my people out there that went and got that WG money, if you don't know what the WG stand for, inbox me and I'll tell you. But everybody that got that WG money, congratulations. I'm very proud of you. Because I'm telling you right now, if you don't know how to exploit that story for the next 36 months, they may not be cutting you a check for a while.
Okay.
For a solid hot minute.
That's a circle you need to be on.
Right. Now to the other ones.
Get out them random clubhouse rooms.
Right. Get out them clubhouse and start talking to some real people that's making moves. To Black Enterprise, Bacardi. I've seen a lot of organizations step up with $10,000 grants, $100,000 grants. Thank you very much. We appreciate you guys. A lot of people that's looking to start a business, you need to be taking advantage of that. There is a lot of people that realize we haven't done too much for Black people, and Black people are pretty much the culture that we base our businesses off of, and we make all of our money, but we don't give anything back to them. There's a lot of people that feel like that right now that are giving away money. Get it. Absolutely.
I know for us, we ended up doing $45,000 in November through grants.
One somebody's salary.
And one from New Voices. So
get it. And I because people were like, oh, why aren't you applying? It really right now wasn't the time to ask people to open up a microbrewery. So I mean, it wasn't gonna work out. We're the people that when people get grants, they come to us to execute the branding and the marketing because of the grant they got. So it wasn't right for us to be out there applying for grants. We don't really have a product right now. We did have a $8 million letter of intent, but you know,
right. For the hotel.
Yeah, for the hotel. But I guess because of COVID, people thought that we had lost our minds, so they had asked us if we were going to give up the ownership. They didn't like the fact that we wanted to own majority of our product. Like, I'm good, fam.
What do you mean?
Right, exactly. That's how I felt when I read the email. I was like, wait, what?
What? I don't know, comprende. I don't understand.
What? Nah. You called me. I didn't even call you. You literally called me. So look, guys, y'all have made it. You've watched us. We are sending LaToya a check to try to make sure we can keep her on board for next year. Whether you guys know it or not, we kept with our schedule. We actually did another 20 shows. Right. We are not iHeartRadio. We're not signed with Charlemagne. Oh, and that's another one. Before I forget, shout out to Mass Appeal, Rock Nation, iHeartRadio, and Revolt for everything they've done for Drink Champs. DJ EFN and Nori had some amazing. If you don't have Revolt to watch it, go listen to the podcast. But
it's on YouTube.
Yeah, it is on YouTube. They had some amazing interviews during the quarantine. And they took their break and they came back. But shout out to DJ EFN. He's doing some great things in Nori. Still our partner, but just like really want to put that out there. Another shout out that I do want to give because he did some stuff and got a chance to catch up with him. Shout out to Teach. Teach did not shut down through COVID and didn't fire a single employee. Took a lot of sacrifices to make it happen.
Yeah,
but he did make it happen. Shout out to him, and also shout out to Reggie, and congratulations to Reggie on his engagement. Reggie got engaged a couple of weeks ago, so congratulations to that. What's that?
Reggie who for everybody?
Oh, I don't know. You know what? I know him as Reggie Birdman. I just know him by his brand. I don't know Reggie's last name, but all I know is you'll know Reggie. Reggie is now damn near a bodybuilder. The boy just went from whatever to just got straight cut up. That was his. I think that was his therapy through COVID. But Reggie, congratulations to him. I can't think of any other shout outs really.
Listen, shout out for everybody just making it to December.
Yeah.
Just pat on your back. That's you here.
Shout out to any parents that's still getting their kids all the Christmas gifts they had committed to. I know about 13 of them things y'all want to kill these kids. Everybody wanted them schools to open back up. Like, can't they just go back for a day?
Oh, shout out to everybody who's doing homeschooling and virtual pre-K like this one.
Yeah. Shout out to all the parents that's surviving working at home. Shout out to the couples that didn't get divorced. and y'all were able to work together.
Still together.
Yeah, because I know them papers was coming in, boy. Some people like, soon as COVID over, I'm out.
Okay.
I got to let you go. So shout out to the couples. Big shout out to anybody. And this is weird, but it is a shout out. Big shout out to anybody that had to close down their business.
Absolutely, yeah.
I know for a lot of entrepreneurs, I know for a lot of small business owners, having to close and shut down your dream was probably one of the most painful things you had to do. And the reason why I'm giving you a shout out is don't stop dreaming. Mm-hmm. You know, if you are a business owner, if you are an entrepreneur, that is in your soul. That is in your spirit. Sit down, take a deep breath, and reevaluate and figure out what way you can rework it. Figure out how do you fit with this new normal we're probably going to be dealing with for the next 4 years. Just don't give up, though. God made you an entrepreneur. God made you a creator. You are the person that employs other people. Take a break, deal with that defeat, but get back on the playing field. Just try it again. Just don't give up. Just try it again.
Absolutely.
And my last petty shout out to all the Republicans that went silent after Donald Trump got defeated for the third time.
Did they go silent? They still trying to keep him there.
Look, I know y'all didn't think I was gonna get through this whole show without letting that part go. Like, y'all was real vocal about the doubt that Joe cheated in some way, shape, or form. Y'all man's got majority in Supreme Court, and they ain't even look. Most of his appointees are like, bro, don't bring this up. You embarrassing yourself now. So I just want to know, Logan, some other people out there that I know y'all follow my pages, to the other lurkers that don't say stuff, but inbox me. When is the apology or when is the admittance going to be as loud as the accusations you were making? That's all I want to know.
Child, bye. They gonna
and just tag me with my whole name. I just want, you don't even have to do a lot. I just want one good acknowledgement. I don't need an apology because you didn't do nothing wrong, in theory. I don't need you to say you were sorry. I don't need you to say you were wrong. I just need you to acknowledge that Cool Joe is about to be your president. And that boy came through with a board better than Obama's. These appointees are so diverse. Mm-hmm. He about to kill y'all with the shoulders. I'm telling you right now. I just want one. Each one of y'all. You can send me an inbox and I'll screenshot it. But I just want that acknowledgement that Cool Joe is y'all president. And I don't care what anybody say. We do talk about politics on this show. And I don't care how offended you are. You should be offended because y'all said this man cheated when y'all security said this was one of the safest elections ever.
Yeah.
You should be worried because the man won by like 6 million in the popular vote. And don't think we're done. Because I'm telling you right now, Joe, do not appoint Stacey to any position. She need to be able to freelance and consult nationwide. That's what Stacey need to do. Just make her the head of DNC, if anything. Everybody need to take whatever strategy she did, take that and make it work.
Sit and learn and implement.
Implement. If Stacey say change the logo to neon pink, you do it. Whatever Stacey say at this point, you do it until you can tell her why not and show her that it actually worked, because y'all failed, especially in South Florida. So whatever Stacey want to do, just take it. Yeah, Brian, I agree. Head of DNC. Wherever she want to go, y'all put Stacey there. But don't try to put her in the cabinet. That's going to be too restrictive for her. She need to be out there and raise money and move freely. But whatever Stacey say, do. Y'all do it. No complaints. That's like Big Mama coming into the house. Whatever Big Mama say, that's what y'all gonna do.
Right. Take a seat. Listen. Obey. Mm-hmm.
That's it. Because when we get Florida back, which we coming for it, it's gonna be popping. 2022 is gonna be popping.
I hope so.
Hey, look, we said at the beginning of the year we was gonna prosper through COVID. We was gonna enjoy the time of not having to travel and go places. It worked out.
Yeah, it did.
You know, who would have thought people care more about their hair sitting at home, not going anywhere? But you still got to look fly for them Zooms.
Okay.
Your hair can't be messed up, especially natural hair. That's the fray will show.
Right, we here for you. We here.
Came through. And everybody realizes it's probably best to go natural because you ain't trying to be out there at no salon and stuff.
Yep. So many people went natural because of COVID.
It worked out for some and didn't work out, but it worked out for my sister. So all them women with the natural hair, make it work. Cosmology, you better get the stuff before these become collector's items, because every time they hit the shelf, they selling out.
Okay.
Did y'all work out y'all distribution? Are y'all good now?
We got inventory coming, so we're gonna be able to ship our pre-orders out before Christmas, which is exciting.
Always
we're working on that. We're working on it. We're working on it.
And if everybody or anybody ever wants to know what's the definition of winning, you winning when those around you are winning. Never count your success on your own. I got a lot of people in my team right now that's winning. So for me, I'm winning too. The blessings rotate. Susu. What is it?
Sprinkle the blessings.
But look, we got it going on. Another year in the bag, another great year. Tech Beats and Bytes. Ooh. My sister, my friend Toya. This was your, as they say in the shade room, she ate, she ain't leave no crumbs. Came through.
Right, and we pulled up a seat for you. Listen, we inclusive around this. I'm
coming. I needed a break, man. I just want to buy another car, just chill out right now. You got it, y'all. You Q, you know, all y'all need to eat right now. I'm cool with just chilling in the back. I want this background role. My boy John eating, so when John eating, I get to eat too. So, and congratulations to everybody in Junction that saw anywhere from a 30 to 400% increase in sales with our incubator. So shout out to everybody, especially Tamila. You came through. James Rowe came through. Look, I helped a lot of people eat. So to me, I am blessed by being able to give my knowledge to others. That was my blessing this year. So.
And that's what it is. That's what we're here to do.
Plus, I was able to, and I put it on the post, but I'm going to say this one more time. I was able to buy my grandma medicine so she didn't have to worry about her medicine. That's when I knew life was good. And you'll understand more about that when I drop my documentary of why that moment was so special to me. So that's coming out soon.
Oh, love that. See, it's all about the give back.
Always. So Toya has to go because she's busy and we 10 minutes over her time. She had a hard stop. So we appreciate her time. And I was late because I'm getting ready to sell some toys that didn't work out. But it's been a long day. Got a little bit more to do. But Toya, thank you very much. Tamila, you're welcome. Said and David got y'all on the hats. They're fitted, so you just got to send me your sizes. I'll get that taken care of. Thank you to Dante for the production work and always being there. Had a great year this year. And all the people that's been supporting me, all the team, everybody that was with me for the long rides and the long nights when I didn't know what the hell was going to do or how this was going to work this year. But we're here. We pretty much at Christmas, baby. It's time to just open gifts and sit back. Chestnuts roasting on the fire, listen to some Brian McKnight. Let it snow, even though it's cold, but it ain't gonna snow, but let it snow. May all you guys have blessings. May all you have an amazing year. Happy New Year, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah. Kiss your loved ones, call somebody and tell them you're sorry. Tell somebody you miss them, make up, let all the hate go. Just enjoy the rest of it. We made it to December. We made it, y'all.
We made it.
Listen. All right. So that's Toya.
That's Mike.
And this is the end of the year for Tech Beats and Bytes. Dante, I'm not playing. You can close out.
All right.